Welcome to the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Reading. Today, I drew the hummingbird. Positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. Inside the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar, and it returns to those sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Follow the way of the hummingbird, and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet, every moment worth savoring. When in balance, the hummingbird is smart, curious, and loves to learn. When out of balance, it becomes pushy, insistent, or sharp. To bring it into balance, it is recommended that we take a class. Have you ever seen a hummingbird? Oh, they are absolutely glorious to behold. How their tiny wings beat so fast. National Geographic has great videos of these little guys. And their wings in slow motion. They're absolutely gorgeous. What gets me is how we read just now that it returns to a particular source every day. So much so that in Mother Nature, I forget what island it is, but the hummingbird, its beak, for each species of hummingbird you have, it has a particular flower that it goes to for nectar. And its beak fits specifically into that flower. So if that flower has a curved entrance, the hummingbird's beak is curved to match it. No other hummingbird can go to that flower because their beaks just can't cut it. They don't fit. So when you find your way of doing a particular thing, that's the way you were designed to do it. That's why not one method fits all people. What is your way? What is your flower that you get nectar from? What is your process? Some people, like my best friend, they have fiery essence, fiery personalities, and must always be in action because that is them. That's their way. So when they do an activity, it has to be an activity of high energy, and they get bored easily. When you pay attention to how you respond to a particular situation or what you are drawn to, you will learn much about yourself. I'm sure that these hummingbirds had to discover what plant it was that they fit best. So too, we have to find which method suits us best. So if you're not an action-oriented person, if you're more like a water personality and you like to sit and reflect, then that's what you do. That's where your growth and nourishment will come from. This is why comparison is a killer. If, as a water person, you sit and say, I should be more like fire because they get so much done. You know, they're so bold and they just push through, you know. That is fire. That is the characteristic of fire. Water, on the other hand, is a great conductor. It understands. It soothes, it heals. If you become like fire, who's going to be water? We all need healing. You see? The key is to develop the other things in your life so that you know when to flow between them. So don't long to have your beak fit into another person's flower. It doesn't work that way, because then you're the one who's going to go hungry. You're the one who's not going to be fulfilled if you try and fit the other person's mold. This is why I say one must connect to Source in their own way. The only way to find what that particular way of you connecting to Source is to try, experiment. And then an interesting thing happens. When your beak slides into that flower and you start to draw nectar out, it feels absolutely incredible. This is why you have to go back to it day after day after day. How do you find your way of connecting? Well, I've started speaking to my body. Our bodies speak to us on a daily basis. But the way that I've found is, if you're looking for a particular thing, it is easier to call that thing to you than it is for you to go out and find it. What's that mean? If you want to find your way of connecting to Source, you ask. You ask your body, what is the best way? What is my best activity that I do or that I can do to connect me to Source so that I can draw my energy on a daily basis? And when you ask that question, pay attention for the answer, because you'll start to get a little bit of a tugging in a particular area. Perhaps you're drawn to walking in nature and being in awe of what you see. Perhaps you sing. Perhaps you draw. Perhaps you are like my mother, who is an incredible caregiver with kindness and compassion. Perhaps you speak, but you won't know until you ask. And who are you asking? The reason why I suggest asking the body is because the body is a receiver of information. You have eyes, so you see. The brain interprets the information through the eyes. It interprets information through the ears. It receives and translates information. That is what your body does. So if you have a headache, you are receiving information. You're receiving information. So pay attention to your body so that you can interpret the information it is telling you, so that you know, oh, well, this little hummingbird likes a bell-shaped flower to get its nectar from. This little hummingbird likes a shorter flower. And you know what's also magnificent? The hummingbird's tongue. Not only does its beak fit a particular flower, but its tongue as well. Its taste. How it draws. Right? In order to draw, you've got to be able to taste the nectar. It's what lures you back. So that when you are in communication or communion with Source, some people call Source God, some people, it doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you connect with it. Connect with Source so that you can taste the sweet nectar. Because when you taste that sweet nectar, you have to go back and get it time and time again, because you realize, without it, you're not whole. Without our connection to Source, we're missing something. This is why we keep seeking. So, be like the hummingbird today and experiment to find what your source of nectar is. And remember, you will find the links below to my website, to my YouTube, to my Instagram, so that you can share on a daily basis what you've drawn from these teachings. Because I learned so much every single day. And it is important that we all reconnect and we share and we learn, because it's what moves us forward. I look forward to connecting with you. So feel free to contact me through any one of those mediums. YouTube, Instagram, my website, it doesn't matter. Let's have a conversation. Let us grow and learn together and start spreading compassion. Like sweet nectar. Much love.